Greetings, Benjamin J. from BENZTRAINZ with another in the series. So I want to do a quick video on this Commodore Vanderbilt. Now, I built this out of a wind-up, I don't know, several months ago, something like that. Anyway, had a single reduction motor in it. It ran forward only. Anyway, I got a new motor in the mail today. I actually got a new 490 in the mail today and did a quick motor swap. And I wanted to do a follow-up video on this Commodore Vanderbilt. Now, if you look on eBay for a motor, you'll find lots of single and double reduction motors. 20 bucks, 30 bucks, 40 bucks, and people buy them. In this case, this is a double reduction motor, as you can see. Came in a 490, got it on eBay for $12. So I just wanted to do a quick video on what you can do with these motors. Now, this double reduction motor, it's the same motor that's in the Marx 666. So it's a good pulling, solid, heavy-duty motor. Anyway, on the 490, many times, it will not have a headlight, as you see. It never had a headlight, was never designed for a headlight. Has the place for one, but there was never a socket mounted there. But they are a perfect choice for Commodore Vanderbilts, because the Commodore Vanderbilt, of course, has the headlight on a separate bracket. So I just took this 490 double reduction motor that I got for 12 bucks and just dropped it into this Commodore Vanderbilt. Now, this was originally a wind-up, and I've plugged the slot in the top and the hole in the side with epoxy putty. As you can see, it's dirty, of course. It's been sitting around, I've been running it. And of course, I just put that motor in it as well. Anyway, sanded it, filed it, and then painted it this metallic pewter or silver, whatever you want to call this. And the finials, of course, were in fairly bad shape, so I just painted everything black. And it makes a nice contrast. Anyway, total cost to build this Commodore Vanderbilt was $22. And so you have a custom Commodore Vanderbilt with a double reduction motor that runs forward and reverse for 22 bucks. Now, I just got this motor installed. That 490 arrived today. I was going to do an unboxing video, but I bought this just for the motor rather than for the locomotive itself. Anyway, put this on rail 3. Now, I've got this pulling 14 Lionel cars, and I just want to do a quick video on this. As you can see, that runs really, really well. Pulling 14 Lionel cars, and that's currently at 50% power, and it runs just splendidly. I didn't have to do anything to it at all. Now, I will very likely swap out those push rods, and actually, rather than swapping the rods, I'll probably just swap out the rear wheels and just put a new set of wheels on it with standard push rods. But as you can see, even with the 490 rods on it, it looks pretty good. It runs well, double reduction motor. 12 bucks for the 490 on eBay. It arrived today. Like I said, I was going to do an unboxing video, but since I bought it just for the motor, I didn't see any point. And as you see, it runs good. I didn't have to do anything to it. A couple of drops of oil, and that was it. And since it didn't have a headlight, I thought it would be the perfect choice for this Commodore Vanderbilt. Now, when I originally built this, it had an old single reduction motor that only ran forward. And since that double reduction motor had a working E-unit and no headlight, I figured it would be the perfect choice to put in this Commodore Vanderbilt conversion shell. So, as I always stress, don't overlook the junk. Look around for a wind-up Commodore Vanderbilt. You can get these things really cheap, especially if they're broken. They don't run. Excuse me. And then with just a few minutes work, you can use epoxy putty, plug the slot on the top where the brake lever went, plug the hole in the side where the key went, and sand it and paint it, and you have a custom Commodore Vanderbilt with a double reduction motor that runs just absolutely perfectly. Total cost about $22. And probably an hour of my time, something like that. But as you can see, this runs just absolutely perfectly, forward and reverse. So it's a really, really simple way to build yourself a Commodore Vanderbilt, because you won't find one this nice for $22 on eBay. I guarantee you that. As you see, it runs well. It's pulling 14 Lionel cars with no problem at all. This runs really, really well. So it looks nice, it was easy to do, it was inexpensive, and it was a lot of fun. So like I said, when I saw that 490 on eBay with this motor in it for 12 bucks without a headlight, I knew exactly what I wanted to do with it. And it arrived today, and I just basically swapped out the front mounting bar and took that double reduction motor and dropped it directly into this Commodore Vanderbilt shell, and it's up and running. Now the wind-ups do not have handrails, as you see. There's no place for handrails. They never had handrails when they left the factory. And it was in fairly poor shape. It was black, it was terrible, just beat to death, didn't work. So I just painted it, and then the finials, the stacks, the domes, whatever you want to call them, I just painted black, and it makes a good contrast. It looks nice, it runs splendidly, and forward and reverse. And best of all, of course, it was cheap. 22 bucks total cost to build this, with a double reduction motor, same motor that's in the 666. So anyway, I've always wondered about these motors you see on eBay. You find a motor by itself, single reduction, double reduction, 20 bucks, 30 bucks, 40 bucks, and people buy them, when you can just look for a Marx 490 with a double reduction motor and buy the entire thing for 12 bucks and just pull the motor out of it. And if you don't like the push rods, change them. And you can either change the rods themselves, or in this case, I will very likely just pull off the wheels, put a new set of wheels on it, 5-minute job, and you have standard push rods. But as you can see, this Commodore Vanderbilt does not look bad with 490 push rods on it. So a new double reduction motor that runs forward and reverse, total cost 12 bucks. Just swapped out the front crossbar, dropped this in, took the single reduction motor that I had in this, put it in that 490 shell. So basically I have two new locomotives. Anyway, total cost was 12 bucks for the motor, 10 bucks or 12 bucks for the Commodore Vanderbilt itself. A quick motor swap, a few coats of paint, a couple of minutes of my time, and you have a custom Commodore Vanderbilt for less than $25. Really difficult to beat that. And in this case, a double reduction motor. And as you can see, this is running just absolutely perfectly, pulling 14 Lionel cars with a lighted tender. So it was definitely worth the 12 bucks it took to get that motor. No doubt. Anyway, I just want to do a quick video on this. As I always stress, don't overlook the junk. You can have a lot of fun doing this, and a few minutes of your time, a little bit of paint, and you can have a really, really decent custom Commodore Vanderbilt or any other locomotive built out of basically parts. It's a lot of fun. It's simple to do. As long as you're willing to get your hands dirty, you can make some really decent locomotives out of some real junk that you can find on eBay. Anyway, an old wind-up conversion with a double reduction motor, E-units working, runs forward and reverse. Like I said, total cost about $22 to build this. It looks nice, it runs well, and you have the satisfaction of knowing that you built it yourself. So just want to do a quick video. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop me an email, BENZTRAINZ@gmail.com. And as always, thank you for watching.